studies show that, no, it is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything, yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious that this should. It's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
But the reason because it is a hard question, because
Right.
it is a serious question.
Right.
It is a personal question. I don't want Donald Trump deciding. I want parents and doctors.
Well, you just said parents can get shut out.
Well, I don't think parents should get shut out. There are rare exceptions to that. Look,
Most of America, they did that in schools. I don't. But I think in enough of them, in enough far left places, they did constantly have this idea in the minds of children that maybe you're not in the right body. I mean, the New England Journal of Medicine advocated for taking sex off of a birth certificate, I believe. It was like you're assigned sex at
Assigned sex at birth.
Assigned.
Yeah.
You're assigned.
I think that's right.
I was assigned it by my dick, okay, when I was born. Yes, and again, to tell kids it doesn't always have to be and isn't always the default setting, but that's a different mentality than they put in the minds of kids. And that's why this debate goes on. And the fact that you think, or a lot of people on the left think that even if you just have this debate, it makes you a bigot. You just have to roll over. You asked about the Biden administration. That was their position. If you even question this, you're some sort of a bigot. And this is new science, and it has to do with children. And it's not going to look good in the future, that position.
Can I just respond? All right. Can you just All right.
All
Let's just
right.
there's a lot. You definitely said your piece.
Say your bullshit.
Just stay for 1 second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding.
All right, no, I know. Okay. A
A
lot
of
of
things there.
First
of all.
Here's the thing. This guy is struggling to realize that people, even lefties, are over with the Democrat Party. Okay, and Bill Maher is actually trying to be like, hey, guys, hey, I'm a Democrat. I'm trying to hang on to the last minute. Can we please stop choosing these as our hills to die on? Because we're getting slaughtered. We're getting destroyed at the polls because people, normal Democrats, if that's a thing, let's say for the sake of argument, that is a thing. Normal Democrats with like common sense, they're like, okay, why is the hill to die on chopping off little kids' dicks and women beating up, or men beating up women in women's sports? We don't want guys in women's boxing, and we don't want to cut off little boys' dicks, okay? Why is that our hill to die on? We're getting butchered. Can we just like try to focus on other things maybe, please? So he's actually looking pretty good here. And this guy, of course, is very flustered.
This is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, older gay people are recruiting kids to be gay. And they wouldn't really be gay because they were being recruited.
This is true, okay? Older gay guys historically have preyed on young boys that they think maybe they have like a feminine tendency, maybe this person is like vulnerable and they don't have any friends and I can sneak in there. This is just a fact, okay? I'm sorry, this is just a fact. Okay? They want like young boys, right? This is a fact. So the fact that he's like pressed about this, I'm like, I wouldn't go there actually because the statistics say the opposite of what you're trying to prove.
They were being groomed, that they were being drawn. That was their conservative position. The Christian right position for a long time was the reason you didn't want to have gay teachers is they're going to recruit. That the gay lifestyle is going to look so enticing and so exciting that it's going to bring these poor defenseless boys, they mostly boys, into the gay lifestyle and destroy their lives. But of course that wasn't true. Really, all gay teachers were an example.
Right. Yeah.
Look, there are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologist. No one says we must.
Okay. That's a wild comparison. That's insane. To be comparing chopping off a member of your body for no reason just because you feel like it, as opposed to getting a heart surgery that could save your life. That's a whoa, to go Tony Soprano. Oh, That's an insane comparison, dude.
Stop the surgeons. We say, let's.
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that. Wait, let me finish.
I'm just.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No. You're right.
And what you say is, let's make sure that this version of it is being practiced well. We don't get rid of the specific surgery. We don't throw out a whole field of medicine. We say, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's healthy. The science, the research, all right, makes clear that yes,
there's absolutely nothing healthy about cutting off a body part just because you don't feel like it, okay? Your body reels from that. There's a reason why these are lifelong patients. There's a reason why doctors want to perform these surgeries, because it's not like a one-time done thing, like you go in to fix your arm, when you break your arm, they put it in a cast, done. No, this is a thing that they are creating a lifetime patient. These patients have to continue to go in, continue to get surgeries, continue to get checkups. They're always having complications. It's a lifelong, what is that? Pay pig. It's a pay pig. It's a lifelong moneymaker for these people, okay?
There are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves... I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it. And that gender-affirming care saves a lot of lives. And the truth is, we talk about these edge cases, talk about athletes, talk about locker rooms, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a very small group of people that just want the opportunity to live and express themselves. And there is a war on that group of people from the right to make salient extreme cases, edge cases, not for the purposes of stopping those, but for doing what the Trump administration is doing entirely, which is stopping all gender-affirming care altogether and making trans people fucking nervous when they have to pee at the airport.
That's just a lie. He's not stopping gender-affirming care for anybody. He's just trying to stop it for underage people, okay? If I'm not allowed to go buy a beer, if I'm not allowed to go buy some cigarettes under 18, then I shouldn't be allowed to decide, hey, I want to cut this body part off. How come? I just don't really like it. I don't really like how it looks. Nice logic.
Right? Which is the end result of all of this.
And of course, that's awful, and I agree with all that, except the part about the studies. There was a very big story this year. It was in the front page of the New York Times. Mm-hmm. A woman, I forget her name, and she had done, like it was a 10-year study, did not release it on purpose because she said it would weaponize the argument from the other side. So in other words, it came out not the way you wanted the study to come out.
Yeah.
Not what you said, that it's, all the studies show that. No, it is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything, yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious that this should. It's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
The reason it's
exactly, and there you go. There you go. The party of trust the science. They don't really trust the science when the science is opposed to what they want to push. When the science is saying, actually, this isn't a good thing, actually, the statistics say this, they don't push the science. So just remember that these are the people flip-flopping on the science. So just trust your gut and go with common sense on these kind of things. It's generally easy to get it right when you just have common sense and you're just a decent person. Anyway, that was the video for today. I hope you liked it and tune in. There will be more of the same in the future. By the way, comment anything you want me to react to. And if you want to get something more unfiltered content, I stream live on Rumble and X Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Catch me there, completely unfiltered. I have to be a good person on here. Well, not a good person, but I can't say it like it is on here, exactly. But we're going to try our best to give you still some fun content despite all the restrictions. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.